Walker was born July 15, 1867 in Richmond, Virginia. She achieved national standing as a businesswoman and community leader, and was being known as the first African American woman in the United States to found a bank. As a leader, her ways, successes, and visions offer tangible improvement in the way of life for African Americans and women. Elizabeth Draper Mitchell and William Mitchell were Walker's parents, who were former slaves. They worked in the mansion of Elizabeth Van Law to take care of their family. Walter's fathers received a job as a head waiter at St. Charles Hotel, and the family was able to move to a small house in the town of Richmond. Unfortunately, Walter's father, William, was murdered from being a victim of a robbery, which left her mother to support herself and 2 children. Luckily, Walter's mother had a laundry business that was able to help, and Maggie also helped her as much as she could. Maggie attended Lancaster School and then Armstrong Normal School. She graduated in 1883 and then taught grade school at Lancaster School for 3 years. In 1886, Maggie Walter married Armstead Walter Jr., who was a brick contractor. He earned a good living, so Maggie was able to leave teaching and care for her 2 sons and continue to work with her different organizations. Since age 14, Maggie joined the local council of Grand United Order of St. Luke, an African-American fraternal and corporate insurance society founded in Baltimore, Maryland in 1867. The headquarters established in Richmond was in 1889. The order had been established to ensure proper health care and burial arrangements of its members, and also encourages self-help and racial solidarity. In 1899, she received top leadership of Right Worthy Grand Secretary of the organization and was able to hold this position until her death. At the time, the order was in debt, so she accepted a salary of $8 a month, which to me speaks volumes about her character. In 1902, she started publishing a newsletter called the St. Luke Herald to increase awareness of activities of the organization and also to help in the education work of the order. In 1903, Maggie Walker opened the St. Luke Penny Savings Bank and became its president. The goal of the bank was to facilitate loans to the community. Maggie suffered personal tragedies in her life in 1907. She fell on the front steps of her home and injured her knees. The damaged nerves and tendons continued to trouble her for the rest of her life. She also suffered from diabetes and unfortunately was confined to a wheelchair. Although going through all her personal injuries, Maggie didn't let her illness set her back. In 1912, she helped found the Richmond Council of Colored Women and served as its president. The council raised money to support Jane Porter Barrett's Virginia Industrial School of Colored Girls and also other organizations. Unfortunately, Walker faced another tragedy when her husband died in 1915. The St. Luke Penny Bank was very successful. By 1920, the bank helped purchase homes, about 600 of them. The bank also absorbed all other black-owned banks in Richmond, and in 1929, it became the Consolidated Bank and Trust Company, and Walter was the chairman of the board. The independent order was also seeing successful results. By 1924, the independent order of St. Luke had 50,000 members, 1,500 local chapters, and a staff of 50 working in its Richmond headquarters. In 1925, Walter received an honorable master's degree from Virginia Union University. Maggie served as a member of a lot of different organizations, which some include the International Council of Women of Darker Races, the National Association of Wage Earners, National Urban League, and the Virginia Interracial Committee. She also co-founded the Richmond branch of the NAACP. Miss Walker faced her death in Richmond, Virginia on December 15, 1934. The cause of death was listed to be diabetes gangrene. In Maggie's honor, Richmond Public Schools built a large brick high school adjacent to Virginia Union University. Maggie's high school was one of the two schools in the area for black students during the period of racial segregations in school. The other was Armstrong High School. In the late 20th century, it was refurbished and became the regional Maggie L. Walker Governor School for Government and International Studies. In 2001, Maggie was inducted into the Junior Achievement U.S. Business Hall of Fame. Today, her house that her family was in from 1904 to 1934 is now a Maggie L. Walker National Historical Site, which is located at 110 and a half East Lee Street in Richmond, Virginia. Maggie Walker was very successful in her lifetime, and her achievements and visions made improvements for us today, for African Americans and women as well. Also, by her being disabled and limited to a wheelchair, she also became an example for people with disabilities. Her integrity, courage, and motivation she has carried on today shows us women how successful we can be no matter what obstacles we face in life. I would say that Maggie Walker's legacy still lives on today as an example to us that we as women and African Americans can do and be whatever we want to be in life, no matter what we go through. We just can't give up and let situations set us back, as she did neither.